Hey everyone, what's up? It's Sarah and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I wanted to talk about Evelin and Corey from 90 Day Fiancé. I have been wanting to talk about this couple for a while. So much speculation has been surrounding this couple for a while. They've been battling rumors that they've already been married. Now the actual revelation that they are married came out on the show, but there has just been so much rumor and speculation regarding this couple that I just wanted to talk about it here today. I did find it very interesting that over the weekend, Evelin did go on her Instagram stories and she did a question and answer session. And a lot of people had questions about what has been transpiring on the show. And Evelin, I will say, seems to be, love her, hate her. She seems to say it how it is on her social media. So she answered a lot of questions, and I would be very surprised if she did have an NDA in place that this wouldn't be breaking her NDA. But I'm going to touch on that maybe she doesn't have an NDA in place anymore. But hang on to that thought. One of the things that I think is important to keep in mind is that what we're seeing now is post self-quarantine filmed footage. And we know that there was a certain cast member, and I'm not going to name this cast member, but I think we all know who this former cast member is, who went down to Ecuador and actually lived down there for several months, was stranded there during coronavirus, during this time, and actually bore witness to a lot of Corey and Evelin's relationship. This cast member is not speaking out at this time, but has spoken out in the past and has made claims such as that Corey and Evelin this cast member was actually the first person to make the claims that Corey and Evelin were in fact married. That turned out to be true. The timing that Evelin and Corey claimed for their marriage is suspect. They claim June 2019. Some people are saying it could go back all the way to 2018, that they were actually already married when they appeared on the show. That's not really the subject of today's video. Maybe we'll touch on that in another video. Let's first start out by playing what Evelin had to say about this whole Jenny relationship drama and how she was blind. She had no idea, claims to have had no idea about this whole that Jenny was like down the street essentially.
I don't know in the future, but for now it's a no. I'm actually taking time to process everything, and I need to trust. I trusted my last producer and he completely blindsided me, so I don't know. So I didn't want to film a season 2. I heard about this other woman back in quarantine show, and then he called me, he introduced himself, he promised that the most he was going to film with her was going to be a video. It was going to be just a video call. And how are you going to reach for this person? He said, oh no, we have our ways. So he lied to me, he put her in there, and I know that he and Corey planned this together, but Corey's very weak and he's a very smart guy to make him do things.
So here's my issue with Corey and Evelin. In my opinion, I think that they're one of the most fraudulent couples that we've seen on the show. And I think it's becoming more and more apparent by what the couple says on their social media about each other, what Evelin is now claiming about production. Just, you can't trust any part of their storyline. You can say that certain aspects of other couples' storylines is maybe producer driven or exaggerated by production, or maybe in the way that they edit it, but to have straight up fallacies and fraud going on, this couple really takes the cake. So at the time that quarantine happened and that Corey left. He did not leave to go to Peru. He left to go home to the United States. And Evelin, which this has circulated on social media, but Evelin had actually started dating someone else at the time, which makes her outrage a little suspicious, because she was definitely dating someone else. She went to pick up said cast member with her new boyfriend. Here are some pictures of them out and about. So yeah, it's not a secret. Evelin was with another person, but I find it very interesting that this is never mentioned on the show. Evelin and Corey, the authenticity of their relationship, I think the only thing really that I can derive from what I see on TV is really Evelin's disdain for Corey. It seems like she very much is just very regretful of previous life choices, maybe in marrying him, and really regrets going on the show. She alludes to the fact in her IG story that she didn't want to do this second season, but that Corey convinced her to, and that obviously they were not in a good place in their relationship, being that Corey was not at the very least not living with Evelin at her home. Evelin was with another person. I really feel that this whole Evelin being blindsided thing is not about her love for Corey. It's about her possibly looking foolish on TV. It's her ego. She has a bruised ego. She wanted to have the story go a certain way. She agreed to have the story go a certain way. She agreed to FaceTiming, but not to meetups. And I think she just really has a bruised ego. One of the things that I will say is I can definitely appreciate the fact that Evelin is not the most sympathetic cast member. She doesn't give off the warm fuzzies on camera or off camera. And a lot of people find her to be hypocritical. And I think that that is valid, especially considering the fact that she was fully dating someone else while Corey was having this tryst with Jenny. With all of that being said, it would appear, and this is corroborated actually by said cast members who may have lived near Evelin at the time, that Evelin didn't want to do this new season, that she had to be talked into it by Corey. Apparently, Corey is a wannabe actor, went to school to study acting. He has aspirations for being on TV, and that this was something that Evelin was really doing for him kind of as a favor. Their relationship was not in a good place, and she agreed to have certain aspects of their relationship filmed, or their drama with this Jenny girl filmed, and it did not go according to what she was promised. So actually, Evelin shut down production. Evelin shut down production, and they had to go in because she was pissed. They had to go in, and you can tell how mad she still is. This was shot months ago, and she's still, and watching it back, she's probably seeing things she still didn't know about, because apparently you can't trust anything Corey tells you. Well, it's messed up. It's really messed up that production would straight up lie to her. I mean, there's one thing for producers to say, hey, can we retake that dinner scene? Or hey, can we get you calling about this that you said you had a conversation about days ago? Whatever. Or even if they want to, exaggerate something, cool, whatever. But to straight up lie to her and blindside her like that, I mean, I'm going to be honest, I do think that that is messed up. But the more messed up party would be Corey. Corey is the one who's had an almost decade-long relationship with Evelin. I don't know how authentic it is at this point, but he professes to really care about her. He made that horrible post where he said that he didn't even want to name Jenny because that was like the biggest mistake of his life, and he cares about Evelin so much. Evelin, like the sun rises and sets on Evelin for him. But I don't think that's the case either, because how are you gonna knowingly bring someone on a show to embarrass them if you love them so much? You guys will have to let me know what you think about all of this. I find it really interesting that Evelin is being so vocal about everything that happened like behind the scenes. That seems like a big no-no. So when I said I'm not sure if she has an NDA anymore, I mean, I'm sure she does to an extent, but being that she shut down production, they were scrambling. And being that it was Rona times, you know, you have your cast locked in, you don't have a lot of other options. I mean, as it is, in this season of The Other Way, we saw 4 returning couples. This is basically Happy Ever After 2.0. So I think producers were really scrambling, and I think they either really upped her pay, really loosened the reins on what she can talk to and talk about. Combination of all of that, who knows? But this storyline is just so unbelievable. First of all, you know, I find it very interesting that we're not talking on the show about a relationship that we know Evelin had at this exact same time. While they're filming this, she's had this other relationship. So, but none of that's being talked about. I find her and Corey both to be pretty inauthentic. The only difference to me is I think that Corey wants the celebrity status a little bit more. That's the way it comes off to me. I think that Evelin would be pretty content doing her OnlyFans, running her bar, being like a social media presence, which of course she got by the show. But I mean, or I'm just a big sucker and I'm fully believing Evelin's story now. But from the conversations that I've had behind the scenes, Evelin's story checks out. The relationship is inauthentic as fuck, and I'm just very interested to hear what you guys have to say. So let me know down in the comments. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Reality Squad, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care, have a good one. Much love.